A return to the Spirit Circus train from 2013, Ghoulies. This is the Voina experience. What's happening, Ghoulies? Welcome back to the Voina experience. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Tier List Tuesday. Ghoulies, before we get started with today's little tier list ranking, Ghoulies, I want to just give a quick little mention to Cameron Jude, who requested us to do the 2018 Spirit Halloween Animatronics tier list. Cameron, your video is coming. I have it recorded, but I was having some audio issues with it, and I'm trying to get it fixed up before I release it. So please sit tight. It is coming, so stay tuned. And as for the rest of you Ghoulies out there, if you have a tier list request, or if you wanted to do a collab with us here at the Voina Experience, please contact us on Instagram, and I will leave a link to our Instagram account down in the description for you guys. Find us on Instagram, give us a follow, shoot us a message, and let us know what you want us to do, or if you have an idea for a collab video, or what's happening. We'd love to hear from you Ghoulies out there here at TVE. But today, Ghoulies, what we are going to be doing is taking a little trip back in time to 2013 to the Spirit Circus train. Now, Ghoulies, our good friends at the Spirit Halloween Wiki site, made us aware that this was the last time that we've had a circus theme from Spirit Halloween. And I have a feeling that we're going to be getting something circus or clown related as the theme this year, Ghoulies, which means that it's been about 11 years since we've had a full-on clown or some sort of a circus-related theme from Spirit Halloween, and boy are we excited getting one this season. But I wanted to take a trip back to the last time that we had one, to 2013, specifically the Spirit Circus train, Ghoulies. So today, on Tier List Tuesday, we are going to be ranking the 2013 Spirit Circus train specific animatronics, and they are Bloody Bag of Jokes, Chester the Jester, Dead Humor, Demonic Circus Clown, Misfortune Teller, Scary Clown Mirror, Silent and Deadly, Thrashing Clown, and Wacky Mole. And of course, Ghoulies, we are going to be heading over to tiermaker.com to be setting up our tier list for these animatronics. So let's head over there now and start this ranking. All right, Ghoulies, here we are on tiermaker.com. You can see our standard awesome to fail ranking. And down here are the 9 animatronics that were featured in the Spirit Circus train from 2013, starting with Bloody Bag of Jokes and going all the way down here to Wacky Mole. So let's begin, Ghoulies, right here with Bloody Bag of Jokes. Bloody Bag of Jokes, what an interesting little animatronic this is. I'm not really so much always a huge fan of the hanging props, but this was a hanging clown upside down in some sort of like a straight sort of a bag or a body bag of some sort, hence the bloody bag. And he kind of thrashes around and says, you know, wisecracks and makes some funny jokes at you guys. And although that I'm not really a huge fan of hanging props in general, I've got Lord de Cavanagh or de Canavar, whatever his name is. I call him Lord de Carnivore from that cologne from the 90s. But, you know, he hangs, and I'm telling you what, he worked like one time, and now he doesn't work, and now he just kind of hangs there and says phrases. He doesn't do his rising motion. So, again, I feel like the hanging props, they've really got to hit it for me, Ghoulies, in order for me to be a complete awesome. But for an animatronic, this is kind of cool. I like the overall look of it. I like his face, and I really enjoy all of his phrases. I think that his phrases are really quite entertaining. In fact, I almost bought the re-release of this guy when he came out a couple years ago or last year, whenever that was, but I didn't just because, for whatever reason, probably money. But overall, I won't go as far as to say he's an awesome animatronic because, you know, hanging prop, but I do like Bloody Bag of Jokes enough to give him at least our second tier here, so I'm definitely with it. And because they're clowns, you know, Ghoulies, that I really had to be objective as much as I could. I couldn't put... So let's go on then to Chester the Jester. Now, this guy's really cool, you guys. I believe he was in sort of a you know, a jack-in-the-box type thing. And then he jumps out and has some phrases and some really cool sound effects, which I really, really, really liked. I think he's got this really creepy, awesome, classic-sounding laugh to him that I think gives him a really cool edge. And overall, I think this is an awesome animatronic. I don't have anything really to say negatively about it. So, in that instance, Ghoulies, our Chester the Jester is gonna sit right up here because not only is he a cool animatronic, but like his costume is cool. His Jack-in-the-Box thing is cool. I really like him. I think he's awesome. All right, guys, and then that brings us up then next to Dead Humor. Now, this was an interesting one, guys. You know, it had a lot of cool potential to it. I like the look of it. The phrasing is okay, but ultimately it was sort of like a very underwhelming animatronic. It was, I guess, evidently supposed to be a jump scare. Rises up at you, says some stuff, but the rising action really wasn't quite effective enough for me to really say it's a jump scare. This, to me, is more or less just kind of like an animatronic that's a clown, that if you need some filler space, you need a clown laying somewhere and doing something to kind of give you some levels on your haunt. He's definitely a good one for that. I just wasn't like, oh, this one, you know, it's just not all that exciting. So Dead Humor for me is probably going to go in our okay. You know, I'm not going to fail it because it's a clown and it's cool and I like it. And I do like the sound effects. I just feel like compared to these other animatronics that we have on this list, it's just going to fall right here in the okay for me. Which then brings us to the demonic circus clown, you guys. Now this one, I understand, was a rather limited released animatronic, but I feel like it's really, really cool. It has a very weird sort of sound effect to it. I like the costuming, a different kind of costume really for Spirit Animatronics. It gave it this purple, orange, and black sort of look to it. And usually the clowns are a little more, they have just the same sort of color routine when they mostly focus on purple and black. This one throws in the orange. I don't know. I just really like the costume a lot on this one. I enjoy the sound effects. The only thing that's going to knock it down for me is the fact that the movement seemed in the video a little bit to be just kind of lame. So although overall I do really enjoy this animatronic, I'm not going to go as far as to say it's awesome, just because I feel the movement could have been a little bit better on it or just a little bit something more, but it definitely qualifies as a second tier for me for sure, and I hope you guys agree. If not, drop us a comment and let us know what you think of some of these animatronics, Ghoulies. You know we always love to hear from you guys here at TVE. Okay, guys, so then that brings us up to Misfortune Teller. Man, this is a cool design for an animatronic. I really love this thing, you guys. First, not only do you have this, you know, really cool gypsy-looking, creepy fortune teller-looking animatronic that just says some creepy phrases, and that in of itself would have been fine. But then it flips its head around and gives us a skeleton-looking death ghoul, ghost, goblin, whatever you want to call it, that says even more creepy phrases and adds a whole nother level of awesomeness to this animatronic. I like this thing so much, but I love the look of this. It's just an old, it just has a very old, creepy, like antique-ish looking feel to it, and I really think this is an awesome animatronic, you guys. Far and away, Misfortune Teller is going to sit right on top from that year, guys, because it is an awesome animatronic. And not only that, not only does it look great, but its phrases were cool, and everything about it was just really cool. It's awesome. All right, guys, so then that brings us to the Scary Clown Mirror. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to go as far as to say this one qualifies as an animatronic, and I know in the past, if it hasn't really qualified as an animatronic, that I've usually bumped it down really low, but there's always an exception to the rule, Ghoulies, and I feel like this time, the Scary Clown Mirror, although I won't say it's a full animatronic, it definitely was part of the clown prop theme, and it does have, you know, movement. I mean, it has stuff to it. It's just not like, you know, a full-bodied animatronic, but this thing is unique. It's cool looking. I love everything about it. The phrasing, the lighting, the way it changes everything up all the time in it. So I won't go as far as to say it's awesome just because it's not a full-bodied animatronic, but I think it definitely deserves to be on our second tier level for sure, just because of how unique and rare of a design that this type of thing is, and I really think it's pretty cool. And if I could ever get my hands on one, I totally would. Which then brings us to our bottom three here, Ghoulies, and I have saved the best for last this time for sure, you guys. No doubt about it. Coming up next is our Silent and Deadly. Guys, this is an oddly awesome animatronic, and what I mean by that is, when you're looking at just a video of it, or if you're just someone coming in and just kind of observing it for the first time, it may not seem like an really overly impressive animatronic. It just kind of moves from side to side, and he doesn't have any arm movements or anything, but like, his sound effect is just, you know, shh, and he laughs, and he's shh, and that's all it does. But guys, the more you spend time with this thing, the creepier and unsettling that it gets. Because the detail on the face, for one, is extremely good and gives it a really, like, serial killer lifelike appearance to it. And then he's holding this creepy knife and he's doing this shit, and you're almost like, what are you going to be doing when this, like, what's coming next? You're like, there's an anticipation about this animatronic that really draws you into it. And I think that's what helped made this become a fan favorite, because we all know Silent and Deadly is a Spirit fan favorite, and it's one of my favorites as well. I also dig the classic looking costume on this, the standard red and white stripes with the little cone hat on top. Kind of looks like a popcorn bag, really, like from the Twilight Zone, the clown that's in the barrel type thing, if you ever watched that episode. But there's something just uniquely awesome and impressive about this animatronic that I really can't put into any more words than that. So Ghoulies, I think we all know that Silent and Deadly is definitely going to be sitting up top here as one of the most awesome animatronics released by Spirit Halloween. At least one of their best clowns, I feel. It's incredible. And then, Ghoulies, that brings us then to the Thrashing clown. Now, this is another one that's just, I can't get over it, you guys. Not only do you have a unique design clown, because he's not standing up or looking large or doing anything crazy, but he's sitting down, and that's really cool. He's sitting down, he's got a great looking costume. I love the hair, the face, the little pom-poms, the striped pants. And then he's got this little TNT box that comes with him that says his activator switch, and you press this TNT, and you don't know what's going to happen the first time you see him. He's sitting there, and all of a sudden he just starts shaking around, and his movement, although it's not like intensely fast or insane, it's actually more lifelike, because really as a person, you're not going to be able to like throw yourself around in all kinds of crazy directions if you're tied down to something. Your movements are going to be a little restricted. And I think he looks pretty realistic given that fact, which gives this animatronic a super edge. Then you add on top of that his incredible sound effects. This is a home run hitter for me, Ghoulies, far and away. The Thrashing clown is definitely going to be sitting right on top in our awesome tier for sure, without question. I'll have words with anybody who disagrees. I'm just kidding, Ghoulies.
I'll be the first on your block to say, Wacky, fuck me over that head.
Well, then that brings us lastly to our Wacky Mole clown, Ghoulies. Now, I don't have to spend a lot of time. If you are fans of our channel, if you've watched our videos, you already know that Wacky Mole is one of my all-time favorite animatronics. I have the re-release of him, and I actually prefer the re-release as opposed to the 2013 version, just because I think they made some improvements to the look. I think his hands look better. I think his shoes look better. I think his face looks a little bit menacing, more menacing, and a little bit better in the re-release version. However, that does not mean that this version of Wacky Mole is any less impressive or less awesome, because it is Wacky Mole, and he is cool, and he is fun, and he is just an amazingly fun, and the whole blacklight reactive thing just gives him a really cool edge. Guys, I love me some Wacky Mole, you know that. So even though it's the 2013 and not my favorite of the two versions of him, I think for this particular ranking, Wacky Mole is of course going to sit on top as one of the most awesome animatronics from Spirit Halloween. So there you have it, Ghoulies, our 2013 Spirit Circus Train ranking from that year, all the animatronics. And as you can see, once again, Spirit Halloween has released mostly in that year all awesome animatronics, with very few coming in below it. Well, Ghoulies, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of this ranking, what you think of this theme, and are you excited for another clown theme coming from Spirit Halloween this year? drop us a comment, let us know. Make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button and turning on those notifications for more videos, Ghoulies. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will catch you later, Ghoulies.